Alrighty, this is my test flight number 2 on the Phoenix GPS foldable video drone. It's the DRC-LSX10. I'm going to see if I can show you guys how to calibrate it and all that good stuff to get the remote synced in with the drone. Now you have to do this every time you use it, which is a little annoying. I know that like when I was a kid, we'd get remote control cars and you just put batteries in both of them and they worked. So the fact that you have to do this every time is a little annoying. But when you turn on the controller, make sure the GPS is on. You're going to hold down the lock button on the remote, turn it on, and then turn on the drone. Hit the lock button. It should automatically find the remote, should automatically find the drone. You're going to spin it clockwise 3 times, and then it'll start flashing green. Oh, you probably can't see that because it's daylight outside. And you're going to hold it above the controller with the camera facing up. Spin it clockwise. Well, it went back to yellow, so I'm going to start the steps over again. Right now it is searching for the drone. You can tell that it's not connected to the drone because the battery indicator on the remote will say that the drone is dead. So it's green here. So I'm going to spin it 3 times. And now it's back to green again. It does turn to yellow after you start spinning it. And hold it above the remote with the camera facing up. It should have beeped. It did not beep. So I assume it's ready. And it is. Now you don't want to, I've got a couple little cuts on my finger from the last drone I had. So you don't want to go near those propellers with it going. Alrighty, I'm going to take it out here. Same place I had it yesterday. I'm going to take it and we'll see how she flies. It's a little windy. That's what I'm trying to determine is how well she flies in the wind. Um, Obviously, I will not have it out if it's really windy. There's a little breeze today, so see how it holds up. Alrighty, I've got it out there in the grass. I just turned it on. It came on immediately, so that's good. So I'm just going to come out here and fly it around and see how it goes. Alrighty, I just wrecked it. Alrighty, well, I just got home from flying the drone. It had a little accident. Something to be aware of when flying a drone is the power lines, fences, any of that stuff can interrupt the signal on the drone. The reason I had a wreck is it flew straight up and it was basically doing everything I was telling it not to do. So it took a mind of its own, uh, and it flew into this yard. Thankfully, the guy was nice enough to return it to me. He wasn't mad about it or anything like that, but he gave me some good insight of the power lines in that area, the fences. He said all that can interfere with the signal, and so thankfully, um, I was able to get it back. I am going to take it back to Walmart and uh, use my warranty if hopefully they allow it, because it broke off one of the propellers. Well, it didn't break it off, but like the screw is gone. I'll show you right here. See, the screw is completely gone. It didn't come with replacement screws. I'm sure I could find one, but I have the warranty. I'm going to abuse it. But it was a good learning experience. And I told the guy, I was like, look, I'm not even trying. I just don't want you to think that I'm trying to, record over your property, because it's a big property. The guy's on like 5 or 6 acres. And he's got some garages out there, and I was like, I just don't want you to think that I'm trying to get surveillance of the layout of your land or anything like that, because I'm not. And he looked at it, and he said the plastic piece, he didn't even take it off the camera yet. It's still on there. It's still on there, and it's still on the remote. So I told him, I was like, look, I'm just trying to get a feel for flying it and get comfortable with that before I start trying to take it out like on hikes and stuff like that, where I want to get aerial shots. So yeah, I haven't even attempted to use the camera. I haven't downloaded the app, nothing like that. So, but that's good to know. Yesterday, while I was flying it, it has a button, the button that turns on the propellers and turns them off. If you hit that, it should, in theory, it should just lower down, land, and the propellers turn off. It should be a very smooth process. Well, yesterday when I was flying it, it got to around 5.5, 6 feet, somewhere in there above the ground. And the propellers just kicked off and it just hit the ground. So that should have been some type of warning signal to me. But I just figured it was some type of minor malfunction with the drone. And today, while I was flying it, it was going up and it kept wanting to come down, whereas it should just hover there, however high I've taken it. Well, that's what it did yesterday. It would just, it just hover. So I'm going to take it back to Walmart and we'll see what happens. Alrighty, well, that was my little spiel on that. I will have to recharge the batteries because obviously they'll take these back. And we'll see if I get another one, if I go with a different one. I don't know. It all depends on what they have and all that. So just take it as it comes and see what happens. It's fun. It is fun. I will say this, One thing I do enjoy about this one as opposed to my other one would go forwards and backwards and left to right. This one actually turns. So you can be going a direction and you can actually turn it in the air, and it'll start just like with a vehicle. It'll turn and start going the other direction instead of just going frontwards and backwards. So that is a cool feature with this one. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. Hopefully they do have a replacement one, or I can at least get my money back. But I don't know. I may try to go somewhere else. The guy that I was talking to, whose yard it was in, I was really worried that it would, his dogs, he had 3 big dogs, that they were going to tear the crap out of it, but they didn't go near it. Or they went near it, but they didn't bother it. And I will say this, the propellers, I had it stuck in a tree, and I was able to use the remote and wiggle it out. Well, after doing that, it hit the ground, and it had to be face down because I was trying to, get it to go back up, and it wouldn't. And it went off. Then when the guy picked it up, they kicked it back on. So just a warning, just because it goes off, don't mean it's not going to come back on and get a mind of its own. And I think that also was because of the all the towers and stuff like that are around that guy's house. So we'll see if the next time I take it out, if I will go somewhere else, and hopefully it won't have any problems. This park was just closer, had a baseball field, and I just planned on staying within the baseball field. So, but lesson learned. Hopefully I'm able to just return this one and at the very least get my money back. Alrighty, well, y'all have a good one.